Okay, so I'm on page 3 and it has exercise 1 and we have our first crazy diagram to look at. So exercise 3 starts with this one here. And they want us to write a complete sentence to describe the relevant angle relationship in the diagram. Then we're going to write an equation for the angle relationship shown in the figure. We are going to solve for x. So we need a sentence, an equation, and what does x equal? All right, so let's begin. First off, the first thing that I see is a straight line. Okay, and we know that a straight line equals 180 degrees. All right, so that's the first thing that I notice. So in my sentence, let's write a sentence about angle x being this big obtuse angle there, and angle here, that little acute angle being 22 degrees. So writing a sentence about that, what could I say? The sentence I wrote says the angles x degrees and 22 degrees are supplementary and have a sum of 180. Okay, now that we have that down, now we need to write an equation. Oops, sorry. So our equation is going to include x, 22, and the 180. So if I take x plus 22, what's it going to equal? Well, hopefully it equals the 180 degrees. So now I have a simple one-step equation, which you are going to see a lot this week, and we have our solution. So 180 degrees minus 22 degrees gives us 158 degrees. All right, so we have a sentence, we have an equation, and we have a solution. So I like to draw it into my diagram just to make sure that makes sense. And this is definitely an obtuse angle, so like it. All right, let's try the next one. All right, example 1. I thought this was an interesting question. And there are 2 of them, I believe, on your homework. So let's give it a try. It says the measures of 2 supplementary, okay, so I'm going to highlight supplementary, angles have a ratio of 2 to 3. Find the 2 angles. Okay, well, I know supplementary means 180. Okay, if I look back at my notes, I'll see that. So that's going to help me. But the ratio of 2 to 3, that's a little weird. So what I'm going to just say is if I have, for every 2 x's I have in one angle, I have 3 x's on the other angle. So I'm going to set 2x plus 3x, and what do those 2 angles equal all together? The 180 degrees. All right, so now I don't have a one-step equation, but it's not too bad. 2x plus 3x is 5x, still equaling 180, and divide by 5. All right, so not too bad. There. 180 divided by 5 is 36. Now that is my solution to the equation, but that is not my 2 angles. So I'm going to go over here. Angle 1 equals 2 times 36. All right, so angle 1 equals 72 degrees. And then my larger angle, angle 2, we'll call it, equals 3 times 36. And I'm getting that from up here, 3x and 2x. All right, and 3 times 36 gives me a 108 degrees. Sorry for the funky 8. All right, so my 2 angle measurements are off to the side there. All right, the third problem on this page is another complementary question. So complementary angles. In a pair of complementary angles, the measurement of the larger angle is three times the smaller angle. All right, so first thing I would do, I like to draw the diagram out. So I'm going to draw a 90-degree angle, right? Because if I have two complementary angles, they form that 90 degrees. And it's okay that I don't draw it to scale. I'm just doing a visual for me to understand what's going on. So if I have a smaller angle that is x, and then I have a larger angle that is 3 times that, I would simply just say, well, it's 3 times x. If one's x, the other one's 3 times bigger. All right, so now that I have a visual and I kind of know what's going on, I'm ready to set up an equation. So if I take x plus 3x, what does it equal? 90 degrees, because that's what complementary means. All right, couple steps here to solve for x. Divide by 4. All right, 90 divided by 4 is 22.5. So that's one of my angles. It says find both of the angle measurements. One of them is 22.5 degrees. That's a decimal. But the other one I'm going to have to do a little bit of work. So 3 times 22.5. Okay, and just for time, I'm just going to let you know that that is 67.5 degrees. All right, now I have both of my angles. All right, good work. We got one more page to go. Okay, we're ready to get started with page 4. I think I'll just do a couple of these problems here. Number 3, it says the measure of a supplement. Okay, so supplement is the 180 of an angle is 6 degrees more than twice. 6 more than twice the measure of the angle. Okay, so again, we need to find two angles. All right, so supplementary angles form a straight line. So that's my first thought. My other thought is, well, I have two angles. One of them is unknown, and the other is 6 more, so that's a plus 6 more than twice. If I want to find twice of something, I times it by 2. All right, so I have 2x plus 6. So now I have two angles, and I know they equal 180 degrees. You ready to set up another equation? 2x plus 6, and that's from that craziness there, plus my other angle are supplementary, so 180 degrees. Okay, so once I decode everything, I should just have an equation to solve. So combine my like terms, bring down the 6 and the right side, two-step equation. Subtract 6 from both sides, 3x equals 174. Divide both sides by 3. 174 divided by 3 is 58. All right, so that is one angle. So measurement of angle 1 equals 58 degrees. The other one, measurement of angle 2, I'm going to have to do a little bit of work. 2 times 58 plus 6. So 116 plus 6, 122. So there we go. two angles. All right, I'm going to skip number 4 just because I know we're getting pretty long on this video. But just to decode this little part for you, if you wanted to try this on your own, 32 more than 3 times. If I'm adding 32 and it says 3 times, then that's what I'm going to be looking at there. And it's a complementary, so one is x and one is 3x plus 32. Okay, so, but we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the very last question. Wow, look at this crazy picture there. All kinds of angles. I see some little boxes. Do you remember what that little box means? That means we have some 90-degree angles there. An X and a Y and a 16. So let's see what we need to know. All right, two lines meet at a common vertex. Vertex is just that very center point there, of two rays. Set up and solve an appropriate equation for X and Y. Okay, so Y is not the 90-degree angle. Y is an acute angle that's inside of that 90-degree angle. So I think I'm going to do that one first because I know that this 16-degree angle plus Y forms that 90-degree. Okay, so 16 degrees plus Y equals 90. Do you see that? See that little box there? So if I add those together, I know I'll have 90. So if I solve this simple equation, I'll have Y. That doesn't look like a 1. And I don't know how to erase it. So, okay, so Y equals 90 minus 16, which is 74 degrees. All right, adding that to my diagram in case it helps me with anything else. Okay, now I'm wanting to find X. I'm going to kind of highlight this line here. See that? So I'm highlighting that because I know it's a straight line, and a straight line is 180. So Y, the 74 degrees, is an acute angle here, but that X, that's an obtuse angle going from that yellow line that I drew to my Y. So X and Y are adjacent. We haven't used that word in a little bit. So since they're adjacent and they form that 180 degrees, that straight line, I'm going to say that X plus 74 equals 180 degrees. All right, now I get to solve it out. Minus 74, X equals 106. So X is 106 degrees. Y is 74 degrees. So piece it out one step at a time and you'll figure these out. Good luck.